And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the First Basemen episode. Yes, so not much to go over other than we do have a guest for this episode. Just for the hell of it, we brought in Brock. Brock, a guest once before, and all the way back in the Bears episode. So he's here for the First Baseman episode, so we do have a guest. Welcome, Brock. And let's get started on some first baseman. Drew, who is your number 3 first baseman?
Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera did not make my list.
Did not make my list either.
Nope.
He's also my number 3.
He's my number 3.
And you say he did not make your list, Ray?
No, he did not.
All right.
I had a tie at number 3 with Miguel and another guy. And I was like, well, I really like Miguel, and I got to grow up watching him. So I went with Miguel.
Yeah.
I will say this. Miguel came in number 4. He just missed my list. And the reason he missed my list is because he played so much time across the diamond at third. And I was like, I don't know, maybe, what am I going to do with this? So I went with somebody else.
Well, I was actually surprised when I started doing research that he played more at first, because with me remembering, I also remember him playing third or DHing for the Tigers.
Yeah.
Well, I can break it all down for you real quick.
All right, let's do that.
He played, I'm going to make sure I'm in the right column here. Okay. As far as games played, he has played 100 games in right field, 248 in left, 347 total in the outfield, 416 DHing, 697 at third, and just under 1,200 at first.
I don't remember him playing the outfield at all.
Yeah, I
didn't remember the outfield.
Yeah.
Real young, like Marlins Miguel. I think just got brief periods out there outside of third base.
I forgot.
They
about
did
that.
have a lot of talent in those Florida teams. They were
He won a
trying
World
to get
Series
one.
there.
Yeah,
World
yeah.
Series.
And like he was, even though he was super young, he was very good, I believe. I believe he was really good really early.
I forgot about him being on the Marlins.
So
Yeah.
for his career, he's got 2 MVPs. He hit for the Triple Crown, 11-time All-Star. He's got the World Series, 7 Silver Sluggers, 4 batting titles. He's got 3,000 hits. He's one of 31 players, 500 home runs, and he batting average is .310. So
Yeah. Maintaining that high batting average is pretty awesome. And his on-base percentage is pretty high as well.
He's hitting 308 this year.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you guys this. I think I know the answer, but just let me ask. Pretty much what baseball says today is that the Triple Crown doesn't matter because those 3 stats are stupid. So do you guys still put credit into the Triple Crown?
I do.
Obviously.
I
I do. I mean,
did.
look how often it happens.
It rarely ever.
That's the point. It rarely ever
I mean,
happens.
he was the first person to do it since what, like Ted
Yaz.
Williams or Yaz. Yep, Yaz.
You're a Red Sox fan, man.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're right. But that was in the 70s.
Yeah.
And
Didn't he do it like, what, 2011, 2012?
let's
2012.
look. 2012. So yeah, like 40
I remember
years.
it was a big deal because he had 2 of them locked down pretty easy, but the other one, like I think the average was coming down depending on how he was doing some other guy. So I remember
It was Trout. Well, he was battling with Trout for one of them, whether it was average or home runs or I think.
I'd have to go back and look. I mean,
I want to say it was
Let's
average,
see.
but I'm not sure.
Well, let's. What is the Triple Crown down here in the awards? We can just go look.
I mean, he has a 3-year run there for a minute where it's. I mean, he puts up really unbelievable numbers for over a decade straight, but there's like a three-year run in there where it's just like holy shit. Like, batting. Well, we'll say 4-year span in a row. Well, the more I keep looking up, the more I just want to keep expanding it. But like batting 344, 328, 330, 348, shit like that. And then 38 home runs, 30, 44, 44, 126 ribbies, 105, 139, 137, 109. Like his on base percentage is well over 400 for about 4 of these crazy seasons right in the middle. Like, and he's consistently around 300, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs for about a decade straight here. And it's pretty amazing.
I mean, he was just an absolute beast. And if we wouldn't have, right in the middle of his dominance, stopped caring about stats and started making the MVP the WAR award, he'd have a bunch more MVPs. Because right in the middle of his dominance, WAR burst onto the scene, and that's all they cared about for MVP. I mean, because they thought about giving the MVP to Trout one year when maybe been the year he won the Triple Crown because he had a higher WAR than him.
Well, because Trout accumulates more WAR through his defense and base running.
Yes.
That Miguel's obviously not going to get.
Right.
Miguel wasn't a great defender, and obviously wasn't a great base runner.
Right, but I mean, in all reality, I mean, Trout just gets points given to him for playing center field. He could be the worst center fielder in the world, but because he plays that position, he gets points given to him in WAR, and while Miguel doesn't because he plays first base.
Yeah, I was looking at the all-time today in WAR, and there's people I don't even know, and then that are about like King Griffey Jr. Because King Griffey Jr. is I think like 37th all-time in WAR.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
How?
And sometimes you look at some of the names that are ahead of them, and it's like, what?
You want they have.
We talked about this, I think, in the catcher episode.
They have certain things weighted really hard, and triples are weighted stupid in WAR. So if like you have a year where you hit like 5 triples, you may never do that again, but you hit 5 triples in a year, your WAR will skyrocket because you have all these triples.
I think with WAR, it's kind of a cool little thing you can use to maybe, I think it should be a small part of the argument, not the whole argument.
Yeah, it can't be the whole.
It's kind of like what we talked about in basketball. We had random times where, I don't know, if it helped your argument, you brought up advanced analytics. That's what I did. And then if it,
win shares.
Yeah. Fuck Allen Iverson. He didn't have any.
Well, if we go by WAR, Barry Bonds is the greatest position player of all time.
Yeah. But I mean,
he's 4th if you put in pitchers.
He can't just dismiss over 100 years worth of baseball where we kept track of how great you were by home runs and RBIs and hits and batting average and on base percentage.
Well, and I looked into WAR today because I knew we were going to discuss it. I didn't want to have the win share thing come up where we didn't know how to calculate it. So I looked it up. It's a pretty simple formula.
That's good.
The only problem is all 5 items that go into it are super complicated.
Oh, not good.
Or 5 or 6 or however many there is. And most of what I read said, don't try to calculate this yourself. Just look it up on one of our sites, and we'll tell you what it is.
And the 2 sites calculate it different.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
They said, you can calculate the WAR, but look these other numbers up with us, and we'll tell you what it is. Well, some of them are just, you get, like Alex said, you get credit for being a center fielder. Or, they decide what the average player is. It could be, just an average guy. It could be a minor leaguer. It could be something else. So they can manipulate it to do what they want. And I don't care for it.
Yeah, because it's and some of the stuff they put into it are estimations.
Right.
They're not like hard numbers.
Right, not a hard number.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So
I mean, you decide how many runs you get because you run better than somebody else. Well, how do you? Because it's not just steals. It's steals and how you run on the bases.
yeah, like how good of a base runner you are.
So it's someone's just opinion how good you look running the bases.
Uh-huh.
So is it the same guy's opinion, or do 2 guys, like if I am saying I'm doing Trout this year and you're doing Pujols this year, well, I think Pujols is a great base runner, but I'm not doing him this year, and you just think Pujols is an average base runner, so his WAR is going to change this year because somebody else is doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
that's. I know when I was looking through this, they're like, well, look that number up on one of the sites.
Mm-hmm.
So the WAR is going to change depending on what site you look the number up on.
Yes.
If you don't figure it out yourself.
It's Fangraphs and who?
Yeah, I remember Fangraphs. I don't remember the other one.
I don't remember. Well, let's put it this way. Miguel Cabrera is one of, 6 or 7 people ever with 500 home runs and 3,000 hits?
Yeah.
5 or 6?
Yep.
He's 115th all-time and more. So fuck that. Like,
He's got 68 career WAR. That's not a super elite number.
No.
that's for Hall of Fame players. It's There's a lot of guys ahead of him that aren't in the Hall of Fame. No, I shouldn't say a lot, but there's a decent amount of them.
Man, he has like you said, 3,000 hits, 500 home runs. He hits over 300 for his career. So it's not like he's a guy that played for 25 years and got 3,000 hits while he's hitting 260. Like, he has the 310 batting average.
Right.
That's really good, no matter what stats you like now.
Mike Trout already has that 80 career WAR, and his career totals don't touch Miguel Cabrera's.
No, like,
So
I mean, Miguel Cabrera has a 913 career OPS. That is a stat guy stat. 913 is really good. Like, if you have a season with a 913 OPS, we're all like, hell yeah. But he has a career 913 OPS.
because he's one of the greatest hitters to ever step on a baseball field. I don't give a fuck about WAR.
I agree.
And he was actually good. Unlike some of the guys who we might talk about, I don't know who was on everybody's list. He was never a great first baseman fielding wise, but he was good enough. He actually played first base quite a while before he got DH. Some guys were first baseman that played first base for like 4 seasons and then DH for like a decade, and they're like, he's a first baseman. It's like, no, not really. But Miguel was at least good enough to be on the field throughout his prime, and then they, DHing became more frequent thing as he got really old. But because he's like almost 40 now.
Yeah.
But so I mean, there is something to that as well.
Well, we're almost 12 minutes in, and we're still on the first player. So
we need to not focus so much on WAR because everybody gets testy about it.
so who all has a 3 left? So me, Brock, and Ray.
I'm
Okay.
waiting to see if anybody else has the other guy that I tied Miguel with.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't bring him up.
Brock, who's your number 3, buddy?
Jimmy Fox.
Jimmy Fox is my number 3.
Okay.
Jimmy Fox is my number 2.
He's my number 2.
Oh,
Look.
no.
Oh, so you left somebody off too.
They both, well, they're Cardinal fans, so they probably, just keep going.
Never go. Just never mind.
Yeah, I don't have Jimmy Fox.
Oh, you didn't put him?
No.
What you got there, Brock?
Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1951. Finished with a 325 batting average, 2,646 hits, 458 doubles, 125 triples, 534 home runs, 2-time World Series champion, 2 batting titles, and a Triple Crown.
Yes.
Also,
3 MVPs.
9-time All-Star.
He also has a Triple Crown.
Sorry, I missed 3-time MVP. Yes, I have that.
Yeah.
He also has a Triple Crown. He has a 325 career batting average,
That's pretty crazy.
with 534 career home runs.
It's in his OPS.
His OPS is over 1,000.
Yeah, he was pretty impressive.
Yes, Jimmy Fox was a beast.
He was a monster.
He does not have 3,000 hits. He only has 2,600 hits for his career. But his WAR is 93.
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
So you can explain to me how so we're still going back to the same position.
Right.
So it's not like he's getting position points.
Right.
So how is he 30 points higher in WAR when they both played a long time? How many years did Miguel? We say Miguel was in the league.
Is it
Like 19 or something?
So
Oh,
they played
19.
1 year difference because Fox had a 20-year career. No, they both have. This is his 20th year. So they're both 20 years in the league. So both of them played 20 years. Both of them played first base predominantly. They both have some third base. Jimmy Fox caught for a year apparently, but and their career numbers are comparable, but one of them has 30 more WAR points. Like, is it because Jimmy Fox has 87 career stolen bases, or like
No idea.
he has 125 triples? Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, they like triples.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that's what it is.
Jimmy Fox have speed? I would think 125 triples would be, but for a 20-year career, I mean.
Well, he had 4 seasons in his career. He had double-digit triples. Like I said, he stole 87 bases. No,
Maybe they're
not a
crediting-
ton of bases.
Maybe they're crediting more for the triple since he was the first baseman.
Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. But, dude, he has... I mean, his on-base percentage is .428.
That is pretty crazy.
I mean, that's like 40 points higher than Miguel Cabrera. Like, that's not me trying to bag on Cabrera,
Right.
but I mean, like, Cabrera has a good
Yeah.
on-base percentage.
Right.
Like,
No, Jimmy
Yeah.
Fox was a beast. He was an absolute
Yeah.
monster.
Well, I have a cool. Well, no, never mind. I won't do that right now. So I guess that leaves us to Ray. Who is your number 3?
I just picked nice little solid first baseman. Jeff Bagwell.
Oh, I like Jeff Bagwell. He's not on my list, but I really do like Jeff Bagwell.
I like Bagwell too.
Hall of Famer, MVP, Rookie of the Year, 3-time Silver Slugger, 4-time All-Star. I watched him play on Houston when he was Biggio and Bell, the Killer Bees. So that's what I know him for most. Central League, always going against the Reds since he's not in the National League Central anymore, or the Houston is not.
He's not even in the National League anymore.
Right. But yeah, I picked him because, I mean, I don't know that other guy you was talking about.
Jimmy
So,
Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, he
No
played a long
idea.
time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know.
Well, I will say this: I have a soft spot in my heart for Jeff Bagwell. I also think fondly of the Killer Bees. I think that was a cool team.
Yeah.
And Bagwell and Biggio and Berkman and those guys. That was really cool. But I want to say this, especially for Wade. Jeff Bagwell has almost 20 WAR points on Miguel Cabrera.
No response, Wade, or
In 5 less years. And that's a cumulative stat.
Yeah.
yeah.
But Jeff Bagwell is clearly a Hall of Famer and a great first baseman. Like he
Yeah.
said, he has an MVP, a Rookie of the Year, Gold Gloves, Silver Sluggers. He has 450 career home runs. He's a 297 career hitter. I mean, his OPS is 948. So I mean, his OPS is really, really good too. He has 200 stolen bases in his career, so that may be what did it.
I mean, 200 stolen bases for first baseman is kind of high.
Yeah, it is.
That's
It
quite
really-
a bit, actually. Yeah.
He stole 30 bases twice.
That's really impressive, actually, for a first baseman.
One year, he hit 43 home runs and stole 31 bases, and then a couple years later, he hit 42 home runs and stole 30 bases.
Yeah, the other guys we're going to talk about, I guarantee didn't do that.
No.
No shot in hell. That's pretty cool. And being a great defender is also something. A lot of times when you're a big first baseman, a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times people focus on your offense.
Mm-hmm.
But being a great defender is really important at first base, and Bagwell was a great defender.
He came up as a third baseman and was moved to first because of being stuck in AAA. So,
Yeah.
one of the worst trades in Red Sox history.
I was getting ready to say something about that. I'm pretty sure. I thought he came up with the Red Sox.
Yeah, we traded him for fucking Mike Stanley, the shit relief pitcher that was out of baseball a few years later.
Wade, I assume we didn't have your tie between the 3.
No, actually, the guy I almost put at 3 has not been said.
Well, I guess we'll see if he comes up, but
I don't think he's going
Yeah.
to. But
all right. Well, so nobody has a 3 left, correct?
No.
No.
So who all has 2s left? All right, Wade,
Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig.
He's my number 1.
He's my number 1.
That's my number 1.
I left him off the list.
He's not on my list.
Well, I kind of figured that.
You think I'm leaving the other guy off?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, I'm on the number 1 train with you all about the guy we're hinting at here, but
We'll get to him in a minute.
I'll just be blatantly honest about one part. I didn't want 2 super old ass guys on my list, so I went with 1, and I went with Lou Gehrig over Jimmy Fox. But I think Jimmy Fox is a really good pick. I kind of went with one old guy. I thought Lou Gehrig was a little better all around. Jimmy Fox was a better power hitter, but they're really close in a lot of stuff. But that's a lot of little shit. Fox beats him by 40 home runs. Gehrig beats him by 70 RBIs. Gehrig has a few more stolen bases. Gehrig has about a little over 100 more runs. Gehrig has about 80 more hits. But the trick with all that, with Gehrig beating him by a little bit, and a lot of that Garrick played about 150 less games.
3 less seasons.
Yeah.
The reason the way I separated them,
Mm-hmm.
Fox had one more MVP,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and he played 20 years later, when baseball I think was better.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
And he also Gary got the advantage of batting with Babe Ruth,
Yeah.
That is a very valid point.
and so and the other thing that got me was they kept saying he was the war leader or war this
Oh.
or war that.
I did not
And
factor
I'm like,
war in.
Yeah.
I mean, his WAR is 113.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, he is a phenomenal first baseman. I'm not saying that at all. So,
Yeah.
but
If
yeah.
he wouldn't have got the Lou Gehrig's disease,
Right, ALS.
he would have 500 home runs and probably 3,000 hits because he's very close on both of them.
Right.
Well, look at
Both
both of their RBI totals are absolutely insane.
Yeah.
They're both right under 2,000,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty nuts.
And almost 2,000 runs as well.
Yeah.
And his career batting average is 340.
Yeah.
Well, that's again
that's-
old players bug me sometimes.
I mean, he's very early, so I get
Yeah.
that. I mean, we're talking the 20s.
I honestly thought
Right.
they played at the same time. To be completely honest, I don't know for sure.
They should have overlapped a little bit, shouldn't they?
I thought they both played in the 20s
Fox
and 30s.
and
Didn't
Gehrig.
Jimmy Fox, didn't he run into the
I
50s?
have it pulled up. Hold on.
He might have. I don't honestly. I don't remember.
He played from 25 to 42.
Oh, okay.
So
Older than I thought.
they played very similar. Yeah, time period.
One was Garrick.
23 to 39.
Closer.
Okay.
So
Closer
right
than
there,
I
right
thought.
there together.
Okay.
But they are very comparable. So I didn't really factor in him playing with all those great Yankee players that won 1 million championships, which would have benefited his
they
stats.
Did, they did,
So.
but he also has 6 championships.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
so I
talk
guess
about a
it goes
Yankee.
both
This
ways.
is what's gonna happen.
I mean, we gave Yogi a bunch of credit for all his championships.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah.
Gary. I tried.
I'm like you. I didn't want 2 old guys, and I went with one over the other.
No, I mean,
just,
I think
just
it
to
was-
be contrary.
I think it was a
guess.
fine pick. I think it was. I mean, like I said, their stats are almost.
Yeah, and they're both
Identical.
great first basemen. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of us made a bad pick. So I think
No,
we can move
I don't
on.
either.
No.
Well, I guess you had him
Yeah.
too. So. But yeah, I had Lou Gehrig at 2, and then. Did everyone have Lou Gehrig besides you two?
I did
think so.
one.
You had him at 1.
Yeah, the rest of
Gehrig
them.
get one.
You have Gary.
Brock had him at 1. Okay. All right.
All right, so I'm going to assume that everybody left is Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Numero uno, boy.
That's right, Albert.
Albert's my number 2.
He's your 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's my 2.
So he's my 1.
He's my number 1.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I think he's
Well,
definitely
before
should
we
be
go
number
into
1.
Albert, who is your tie guy?
Eddie Murray.
Oh,
okay.
He was on my short list. He was right there.
Well, you think he's also one of like the 5 or 6 guys ever. He was, I think, the 4th person or the 3rd person in MLB
Yeah.
history to get 3,000 hits and 500 home runs.
Yes.
And
Well, there's another first baseman that's done it too. Rafael Palmeiro did it too.
I mean, he got steroids.
Yeah, he did. Get
Yeah.
busted for
Yeah,
steroids.
so he got full on caught. He didn't like
Yeah.
just make a list. He actually got caught. And Eddie
Yeah.
Murray was also a great defender, which not some of his guys. He has gold gloves on top of his 3,200 hits and 500 home runs. And I was looking at Eddie Murray's stats. Like I knew he had crazy numbers and stuff. I kind of learned about his defense and how good he was on defense. He had like 3 or 4 gold gloves. And on top of all that, like I was looking at his stats. He never like had like these like crazy insane seasons that some like Miguel had. We're talking about Miguel Cabrera, but he was like good or really good for like just 20 straight seasons.
Oh yeah, he was.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, they
remember.
said he had at least 20 home runs like 16 different times in his career. And that's a long time to be a consistently really good MLB player. Like he was like at least 20 home runs, 80, 90 RBIs for like almost 2 decades straight. It was really impressive. But
Well, what I have on Albert, I didn't put anything because his career obviously hasn't ended yet. But I just put that he just passed Stan the Man yesterday in extra base hits.
I think he's 3rd all time.
Third
now.
all time now.
Yeah.
He's climbing all the lists. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's like top 5 in everything.
Yeah, he's like he's 22 years in the league. He's on every list now. I was bummed though that he's let his batting average get so bad
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like
bad.
like he's pulled his career batting average below 300 now.
Yeah, I hate
It's
to see
296.
that. Yeah, I hate
you
to
know,
see
and
that.
he had 12 years into his career, his batting average was like 320 something.
Right. Yeah. And
His body was breaking down with the Angels.
yeah, it was.
684 on the home runs. Well, 685.
Yeah, he hit 85 today.
So still climbing. So
Well, Ray, we can go ahead and put him on the list. I think because he was unanimous,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
right? So he can go on. But he was our only unanimous pick out of first baseman. So we have.
So would he go in number 1, or doesn't matter just what order it is?
As long as they're on there, yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and delete Pujols' page, so as I know we've got him on. So we have 4 guys for 2 spots.
Well, and Albert was really the only Gold Glove guy that we talked about.
Bagwell.
Well, that's true, Bagwell. I forgot.
So we're between
But
Bagwell.
I do want to mention the leading first baseman in Gold Gloves is Keith Hernandez.
Hmm.
He actually won 11 Gold Gloves at first base. Pretty amazing.
Here's the thing, like, if you have a really great glove guy at first base, he can really save your infield.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about fielding ground balls. That most guys can do that, but guys that can dig balls out of the dirt and get the short hops and all those things, because your shortstop and third baseman are not always going to put the throw on the money, making those running the opposite direction plays or trying to turn their body because they're up the middle. They're not always going to make the throw on the money, and you got a guy over there that can really pick it. It's going to do your infield wonders.
Yeah.
Like, people always think of first baseman as guys that can't field, and that it really shouldn't be the case. I mean, they're guys that don't move their feet well a lot, so they're not going to run down balls. But if their glove work is good, it can really help your team.
Well, I mean, if you can cover that line pretty well, too, some of those guys, those powerful lefties will pull the ball down the line, which is an easy double or triple every time. Some guys, I mean, they don't mess around. They'll guard that line pretty well.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, Miguel Cabrera, Jimmy Fox, Jeff Bagwell, and Lou Gehrig. 4 guys, 2 spots. What do we think? Because, I mean, Miguel Cabrera made how many lists?
He made mine.
3.
3 lists. Jimmy Fox made
He made mine.
4 lists. Bagwell made 1, and Gehrig made how many? 3? Or 4? 4. All right. Well, Ray.
That's what I figured.
hey, I'll be honest with you. If we were picking my favorite player out of these 4, Jeff Bagwell would be who I would pick. He's my favorite of these guys. I just don't think statistically he stacks up. I think he's a Hall of Famer, but we're looking at the 3 greatest of all time. And I just personally don't think he stacks up, and you're the only one with him. So I'm asking.
No, that's fine.
Are you cool with letting him go?
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Now we're down to 3.
3 guys for 2 spots.
Real quick, just because I looked it up and it finally came up on my phone, just to talk about Albert. We're talking about these guys doing these little accomplishments at first base and doing, getting these milestones. These are Pujols' rankings all time as of right now, unless this is not fully updated, which I hope it is.
Not good news.
As of the end of last year, so the beginning of this baseball season hasn't counted yet. But going into this year, he was already 5th all-time in home runs, 3rd in RBIs, 15th in hits, 5th in doubles, and 16th in runs scored. That's an everyone all-time, not just first baseman. That's
Right.
everyone that's ever played.
And this year, I have the wrong guy pulled up. Oh, I already deleted Pujols. Sorry.
So, yeah, your top 5 all-time in home runs, 3rd in RBIs, top 15 in hits, top 5 in doubles, and top 16 in runs scored. Get out of town.
Good old Albert.
Like, that's amazing. Like, you can argue, like, greatest player of all time stuff with those numbers.
Albert's been my guy since I was little.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I cried when he left. When he signed with the Angels, I was so mad. And then when he signed back with the Cardinals this year, I came screaming out of my bedroom at 11:30. I said, he's coming home. They said, who's coming home? I said, Albert.
It is cool that he came back. I do like that.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Glad I didn't stay with the poopy Dodgers.
Well, I will say this. I still stand by the statement. The Cardinals never should let him go. I know back then it was a lot of money, but they should have kept him. It would have been great to say Albert was a life Cardinal.
That would have been nice. I just don't think the franchise could afford the kind of money the Angels were going to pay him. They just didn't have the money.
No.
The Angels just got that new TV contract, and they had tons of money.
What did he get? Like high 200 millions?
For 10 years.
Yeah, and for a huge number of years.
For
That
10
was the part. The Cardinals offered him
He got-
similar money,
he got-
but only for like 7 years. I think they wouldn't go past 7.
That's what,
And the
Oh, it's
Angels
probably
went like
smart.
10 or
yeah,
12.
it was 200 at 10.
Yeah.
But not just shortly thereafter, they gave Holiday $127 million.
Yeah.
So you can give a way lesser player, almost that money. I mean, now we're giving out $500 million contracts.
yeah.
So, I mean, like,
Now it doesn't look like.
yeah, like,
Well, I think Albert kind of set a pretty big mark. I don't remember the exact numbers. Did you look it up, or were you guessing?
I was just, it was in my head, yeah.
Like 200 or 300 million or whatever. And then, like, they rattled off some real big ones after Albert.
Well-
Like Miguel signed a huge one.
A-Rod had 2 huge ones.
Yeah.
Well, those are before Albert.
Well,
At least one
the
of
first
them.
one was, yeah.
Yeah, it was before Albert. I feel like Albert was like at this astronomical number that no one had seen yet.
It's the years at his age.
Yeah.
is
He
what
was already-
He was like 31, and it sounded like a 12-year contract or something.
yeah, like 10 or 12 year
It was-
contract.
yeah, something like that. And some of the Angels' years, I will say, they're not Cardinal years, but he did have some good years with
He had
the
a couple
Angels.
good years,
Yeah.
the first couple
Yeah.
years of the contract.
But people kind of shit on him. They're like, "Oh, he sucked the whole time." It's like that's not really the case. He had some
Yeah.
pretty productive years. They just weren't up to his caliber with the Cardinals.
Pujols' contract with the Angels was 10 years, $240 million.
240.
Ooh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
And then things kept climbing. Like since then, Miguel signed a really long one that has ended up screwing the Tigers. Bryce Harper has a long one. Trout has a long one. Machado's got a long one.
Tatis had.
Eric
Maybe.
Hosmer has a long one.
Yeah, like I feel like we're missing like a real big superstar that signed another huge one
Did
after
you say
him.
Mookie Betts?
Yeah, Mookie
I
Betts.
didn't see
got-
Mookie,
yeah,
yeah.
Mookie Betts is like 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of
Yeah,
these guys are going to be 40 when they.
I think Bryce Harper's is pretty long.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
Yeah,
his
Bryce Harper's
is
is
like
long.
13. Trout's
like that.
Trout's or Harper's, one of the two got a 13th year.
Yeah, someone got 13.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they wanted to up the other one because one of them got 12 and then the other guy signed to 13.
that might have been like Machado and Harper. Weren't they in the same offseason?
Yeah, Machado got a big
Mhm.
one too.
I think they had the same offseason
Well,
and they
let's
were
just,
going.
let's just look at Major League Baseball big contracts.
Because
Well,
I
I know
think
Tatis signed one last year, didn't
yeah, Tatis would have been.
Hasn't he been hurt this?
he? Yeah, he
Who?
hasn't even played a game yet this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tatis.
Tatis? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's always hurt.
I was like, yeah, does he ever play? Yeah, like some of Albert's Angels. I went and looked it up just so I knew.
All right, so Mike Trout, $426 million over 12 years.
Okay.
Mookie Betts, $365 over 12 years. Francisco Lindor, $341 over 10 years. Tatis, $340 over 14 years.
He's younger than all them, isn't he?
Right.
He's 22, so yes.
He's young.
So he's a lot
But
younger.
Bryce Harper got $330 over 13.
He's the same age as me, I believe.
He's 26 is what it says here.
Nah, he's not 26. He's older than 26 in real life.
Well,
Maybe
it's-
it's 26 when he got the contract.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it probably is. It's probably 26 when he signed the contract. Yeah.
'Cause I think Trout's a year older than me, and I'm the same age as Bryce Harper. 'Cause I remember in high school, he was this phenomenon when I was a senior in
Yeah.
high school. He was just an annoying little douche.
Stanton got $325 for 13 years,
Mm.
and that contract looks bad already.
Yeah.
Corey Seager got $325 for 10 years.
Yeah.
He plays shortstop.
He never plays. He plays like 90 games a year.
Garrett Cole got $324 over 9 years.
Hmm.
But again, he signed that contract at like 29 years old.
Yeah.
Like Machado got $300 million for 10 years.
Hmm.
And of course, the Yankees are still paying A-Rod for his $275 over 10 years, which he signed at like 30 some years old. Nolan Arenado, 260 for 8. A-Rod again. Miguel Cabrera, 248 for 8. Strasburg, 245 for 7. And he's what, missed 2 whole seasons now?
Yeah, ever since the World Series, he hasn't been back, I don't think.
Anthony Rendon got 245 for 7 years.
He sucks
He's done.
ass.
Yes.
Okay, and he's done for this year too.
Yeah, he is done for the season, yeah. Robinson Cano, this was a bad one, 240 for 10 years, and he was over 30. And he's
And
Already
he got
gotten
caught
traded this year.
juicing.
he got caught juicing, but he's been cut by like 4 teams now. Like,
Yeah,
but
he
Seattle
can't stay
still
on
has
the
to
roster.
pay him.
Yeah, you can't stay on a roster.
He got cut by the Mets this year. Now I don't know, is he still on the Padres? Because I know the Padres signed him.
Of course, Votto still on his 10-year deal for 225. Of course, he's still playing pretty well though.
He's not playing terrible for all the years.
He had a terrible start this year, though. I don't know if he rebounded.
Well,
or
the
not,
Reds
but-
just had a terrible start to the year. They started.
Votto had a good year last year because I remember like he had home runs and like
Well,
Yeah,
many
I think he hit
consecutive
like
games.
38 home runs last year or something stupid. It was the most home runs he'd ever hit in his career, and he was like old.
He used to be an on-base monster. Like, talking like, I don't remember the exact numbers, but his on-base percentage used to be, he had 1 year where it was like insane.
Of course, the Tigers are still paying Prince Fielder.
Well, he quit because of what, a heart
That
condition or
fatty's on the
something?
couch.
Yeah, he had something go wrong with him. I can't remember what it was. There's something wrong with him, and he had to retire abruptly in the middle of the season because he had
Like
some
a-
condition.
Yeah.
So,
No, but after Albert went to Los Angeles, like, he pushed together some pretty good seasons that everyone shit on. Like, first year, 30 homers, 105 RBIs. Then he only plays like half a season. Then he a little over half a season, and he has 17 homers, 64 RBIs. Then when he's back to being healthy, 28 homers, over 100 RBIs, 40 homers, 95 RBIs, 31 homers, 120 RBIs, 23 homers, 101 RBIs, another shortened season with injury with 19 homers, 64 RBIs. Then his last productive season when he's like 39. He still has, at 39 years old, 23 homers, 93 RBIs. He was really not as bad as people make it out to be. Then obviously the last couple years, he's old as fuck and just dwindling down. But
wait, those numbers don't matter. You're just talking about stats that don't matter.
WAR sucks wiener. No one cares about WAR.
Yes, but you should be talking about OPS plus and all these things because he doesn't hit doubles anymore because he can't run. So his slugging percentage is going to be down.
Well, he hit a ball and it made a run. I know that. And runs lead to wins. I can prove that.
All right.
And
Well,
it's
shall we stop talking about Pujols so we can figure out who else is on our list?
You're our last two.
We had to praise the best first baseman ever.
That's right.
Yeah, after way back when we did the Ravens episode, when we talked about Ray Lewis for maybe a minute.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
skipped over maybe the greatest middle linebacker ever, like he was chump change.
Can't
We
do
said-
that to Albert.
We said, yeah, he's the greatest middle. He's the greatest.
Talk about him again, really.
He's the greatest Ravens running back.
It was kind of like one of those things of like, duh, Ray Lewis, and then we just moved on.
But like we should have like sat there and praised him, but like how we have memories of him and how great it was. But no, nothing.
Even Biggie didn't say anything really. He just
Yeah,
Yeah. But anyway, all right. So did we get rid of Bagwell?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're at Cabrera, Fox, and
Sorry,
Gary
Ray.
for last.
And everyone got like 4 votes or 3 or.
Yeah, 3 or 4, yeah.
So we had 3 Cabreras, 4 Garricks, 4 Foxes, right? Or am I off?
I don't know.
I
How
know
many?
we-
Who had
I-
Cabrera?
I had
I had
Cabrera.
Cabrera.
I know
So 3 Cabreras.
four Garricks because Doug and Drew didn't have Garrick.
Okay.
Yeah, and then who had Fox?
I had Fox.
Fox.
So 4
So,
Foxes.
4 Fox. So we have.
Oh no, not Cabrera.
No, I want Cabrera.
Let's compromise. Let's put Eddie Murray on.
Oh yeah. Well, forget to just put another party on. We'll put Bagwell on.
Oh.
Well, I mean that we could do it that way. I mean, we have 2 guys with 4, 1 guy with 3, and we have 2 spots.
Well, Garrick and Fox are almost identical stat-wise and play the exact same time. Then you got Cabrera. I don't
He's
know.
still playing today.
I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like Lou Gehrig like doubles Cabrera in WAR.
We don't care.
Yeah, that's
Oh, we gotta go to war now, Wade.
Garrick's a Yankee.
Yeah, I mean I don't like the Yankees. That's true.
Every time I hit a pop fly, it's probably a sack fly and got a run in.
Here we go.
His RBI totals are insane. Lou Gehrig had some insane. I mean, obviously Fox must have too with his total.
1,900.
All right, so these are in a row seasons, okay? RBI numbers: 173, 147, 125, 173, 185, 151, 140, 166, 120, 152, 158.
That's Gehrig or Fox?
Gehrig.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's definitely going on that list then.
That's in a row. Like, that's not just me skipping around his list. That's seasons in a
I
row.
feel like a
Yeah.
normal RBI season would be like 80 or 90.
Some guys
A
get
lot
up in
of
the
the good guys
hundreds.
get over 100. But
Jimmy Fox, 156, 120, 169, 163, 130, 115, 143, 127, 175, 105, 119. Those are back
I mean,
to
their
back.
career totals are only separated by a small amount.
right there together.
Yeah, they're
Here's a. Back in the day, all-star power hitters had, for some reason, always had a ton more RBIs, and people hit around 400 all the damn time back then. Probably why there's more RBIs.
Did they score a lot more runs back then?
yeah. What was
We
like?
need to do an evaluation of baseball back in the day like they did with basketball.
Because like,
And the possessions and all that stuff.
'cause-
to
well,
adjust some of this stuff.
because they didn't use like when they were technical relievers on the team, but you usually pitched the whole game unless
Right.
something happened to you. So even if your arm hurt and you're just lobbing the ball in there, they made you finish the game usually.
And
peop-
throwing meatballs in the
Yeah.
eighth inning.
and guys weren't throwing as hard. They weren't as good at pitches. Like I'm nicely trying to say it was easier at times back in the day, but it's just the evolution of the game, like it is with every sport.
Yeah, with any sport, yes.
Every sport they get better, and then here recently they make everything easier again. It's kind of weird, but
Well, who's the better player then, Cabrera or Gehrig or?
I don't know. It's tough.
What was Cabrera's RBIs?
They're under Gehrig and Fox's.
Yeah, he's.
Gehrig and Fox are both in like the 1900s, I think. And do you have Cabrera's down?
No, I don't have RBIs.
Oh, I don't know.
For who?
Cabrera.
I have it. His RBIs is 1836.
Oh well, he's not that far behind him, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he,
Fox
actually,
had 1922 and
if he had a good
had
last year, he could.
1995.
I don't know. These damn era conversations get complicated.
We're gonna have this probably every week.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, here we're talking about. I mean, I'm struggling to get runs scored by team like pulled up. They can give me players, but the runs scored list is not dominated by old players. I mean, Ricky Henderson is the all-time leader in runs scored.
Yeah.
I mean, Ty Cobb is next, but then it's Bonds and Aaron, and there's Ruth, and then Rose and Mays and A-Rod. I mean, yeah, I don't even know who the fuck that
That
guy
old
is.
guy.
I don't know who that
Looks like
guy
he's from the
is.
Victorian age.
Let's see
Like you
here.
go straight from
Yeah.
Alex Rodriguez to this guy with his Victorian-looking mustache.
It's Cap Anson, so I actually do know who that is. I just don't know him by look, I guess.
I know whenever you hear about guys hitting 380 or hitting 410, it's always way, way back in the day.
Well,
Long
guys
ass
used
time ago.
not 410. Obviously, that doesn't happen. Nobody's hit 400 since Ted Williams, but
Yeah.
you guys hitting high 300s. That happened routinely when I was growing up. Larry Walker did it one year. Tony Gwynn did it a few times. Wade Boggs did it a couple times. Nomar Garcia-Parra did it once.
Well, I think
George
that-
Brett did it
That's
once.
what I'm talking about. Like you're talking about a bunch of guys that did like once or did a couple times. Like a lot of these, like who is it? Is it Ty Cobb or Wagner or whatever? His career batting average is like 360 or something.
Ty Cobb's career
Like-
batting average is 366. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it was.
Well, I mean, Ty Cobb played before baseballs were hard.
Yeah.
Okay, I looked up most runs by teams. Okay. The most runs ever is by the 1894 Bean Eaters. The 1894 Phillies are second. The 1894 Orioles.
I already got the 1900.
So,
The 1887 Browns. The 1895 Phillies. And the 1931 Yankees.
Am I proving my point yet?
all those were the 1800s.
And then the 30s.
The 31 Yankees. And on the list, you have the 31 Yankees, then the 36 Yankees, then the 30 Yankees. Then you go back to the 1800 Chicago Colts,
Points proven, bro.
Boston Reds.
I don't think it is. It's all one team.
Well, it's
It's all the Yankees.
all.
Yeah, that won the
There's a
championship every year for the 30s and 40s.
1950 Boston Red Sox. Then you go back to the Bean Eaters,
The
Brooms of 1894, the New York Giants of 1890.
So my point
Phillies
of
from 1893.
hitting was easier back then has not been proven yet.
Oh, I
Then
don't-
You finally hit the
I don't think that was
Cleveland
ever an
Indians in
argument.
1999.
That's what I was saying, and you just disagreed with it.
And those Bean Eaters must have been something because they're on here again and again.
The
fucking Bean Eaters.
1930 Cardinals, 1932 Yankees, 1930 Cubs. So it's the 1800s and the 1930s. And occasionally you throw in the 32 Philly Athletics, the 37 Yankees, the 27 Yankees. They scored a lot of runs.
Just keep naming Yankees in different years.
Well, then I think we could go with Cabrera and then decide between Gehrig and Fox.
Ooh, we got a supporter. Yeah, we got a
Ooh.
supporter.
You're welcome, Wade.
Cabrera supporter.
Good.
Switching,
I don't know.
switching teams on us here.
Yeah, I'll say
Uh-huh.
Fox and Garrick had the most votes out of the guys remaining.
Well, what I just heard, a bunch of Yankees carrying the team, and then back here, Cabrera.
I could get on board for that. We could get rid of the fucking Yankee.
You know, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm probably getting rid of the Yankee.
I'm
Is that what we want to do?
I'm okay.
We
We
kept
can-
him last week. Let's get rid of him this week.
I'm
We
okay
can always
with
take it to the boards.
Ooh, yeah.
So,
let's take it to the board.
so instead of writing down who we want to keep, we write down who we want to get rid of.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Write down who you want to get rid of.
So just one player?
Yeah.
I want to get rid of. Who do I want to throw a wrench in the thing? I need a marker, Ray.
Thank you. All right.
I wrote mine down.
I wrote mine down.
Oh, fuck it.
I think at 3 we all show.
All right, I got one.
I wrote one down.
All right.
All right.
I said LG.
I said Gehrig.
I said Lou Gehrig.
I stuck to my list. I said Fox.
Yeah, I said Fox.
I said Gehrig.
I was having a time.
So we got 4 Garricks.
Yeah, Garrett's gone.
Yeah, Gehrig's gone.
Lou Garrett's on the first base.
All right.
I think we're going to be called Yankee haters, but that's all right.
I can live with it.
I mean, Alex is. He's a Red Sox fan.
Hey, it's the Midwest. They can suck it.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Albert's
really
won.
Doug would go with
Albert's
Gehrig.
won, and the Yankees aren't on the list.
You got a Red Sox on the list.
Was Fox a Yankee?
And Fox was a Sox. And an Indian.
The Guardians.
No, they were the Indians
I
then.
know, obviously.
So our list for the 3 greatest first basemen of all time is as follows: Albert Pujols, Miguel Cabrera, and Jimmy Fox. So that concludes our first baseman portion of this episode, and we'll move us into trivia.
I forgot to look up trivia again.
So Drew, are you ready?
Yep. 1 second. Look away. Maybe. All right. What player in MLB history is more likely to have a 4-hit game than a 2-strikeout game?
I think I know this.
Can you say that again, please? I'm sorry.
What player is more likely to have a 4-hit game than a 2-strikeout game?
And this is all of history.
Yep, all of history.
Okay.
So he kept playing for what? The Bean Eaters?
Hey, the Bean Eaters obviously were good.
I got my guy.
I want
I
to
got mine.
know who the Bean Eaters became.
I have an answer.
I have an answer.
Is that everybody?
Yeah, I
Yep.
got mine.
All right. I said Tony Gwynn.
I said Tony Gwynn.
Okay.
Put Joe Mauer.
Okay.
I said Pete Rose.
Okay.
I said Barry Bonds.
It's Tony Gwynn.
Go ahead. Yeah, go Alex.
They said I saw a stat the other day. I might screw it up a little bit, but it was I'm trying to remember. It was a Yankee. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Judge though. Already this season had more strikeouts than Tony Gwynn had like the last half of his career.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he
he-
was amazing.
Yeah. So that was me and Uncle Doug got it right.
That is correct.
That puts Uncle Doug in the lead.
Oh, hey.
All right, who would like to go next?
I got mine.
All right.
All right. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October,
Yes.
has struck out more than anyone in MLB history, with a whopping almost 2,600 times. There is another all-time great player right behind him with just about 40 less strikeouts. Who is it?
It's not Tony Gwynn.
It is not.
No.
It is not.
All right, I got my answer.
Ravenclaw.
Anybody?
I'm thinking.
All-time
Yeah.
great.
I gotta guess.
Number 3 is actually really mind-blowing.
All right, I'm ready.
Man,
I don't know.
this is killing me.
I'll tell you a really funny part about number 3 here in a second.
Okay, I got mine.
All right, I got one.
All right, is that everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
I put A-Rod.
I put A-Rod.
Anybody else?
I put Mike Schmidt.
Said Pujols.
Actually.
Said Bonds.
It's Jim Tomei.
Tomei.
A-Rod is 5.
I knew he was up there. I thought I was going to get it,
I
honestly.
actually don't even see Pujols, so he might not be a ways down. Okay, everyone in the top 6 has played between like 18 to 22 years. Number 3 is Adam Dunn with 14 seasons and only 8,000 at bats, and has struck out almost 2,400 of them.
He's on my Diamond Dynasty MLB show team.
He's only like 220 strikeouts behind Reggie Jackson for the all-time record, and he has 3,000 less at bats.
But he was power, man.
Yeah, he had like 400 some home runs.
Yeah. All right, who's next?
I thought since we just did first baseman, that'd be fitting.
I'll go ahead. I'll do it.
Okay.
All right, what you got, Brock?
Okay. Who was the last player to play all 9 innings in an All-Star game?
Oh.
Oh.
Probably before I was alive. And nobody plays more than a couple innings now.
Yeah, they just rotate him out.
Back in the day, it was pretty serious, though.
It was. And for like a 4 or 5 year span there, they did 2. There's a whole bunch of like all-time greats for a while that have a ridiculous amount of all-star games on their resume, but it's because they played 2 a year.
Right.
Like Willie Mays falls into that category. He has like more all-star appearances than years played, and it's because he was playing in 2 a year for a
Yeah, I
while.
think Stan Musial has like 24 All-Star games
Yeah.
because there were several years there were 2.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway, I got to guess.
Yeah.
All right, I got to guess.
I got one.
Everybody?
Yeah,
Yep.
I got one.
I said Pete Rose.
I said Pete Rose.
I said Yaz.
I said Ken Griffey Jr.
I also said Ken Griffey Jr.
It is Carlos Beltran in 2006.
What?
Really?
The Cardinal killer.
Why?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Wow, I would have thought it'd been older than that.
I don't know.
Hmm.
2006, probably the last time I actually watched a baseball game.
All right, who'd like to go next?
I'll go. Which 2 Hall of Fame pitchers, and this is in different years, recorded their 3,000th strikeout on July 4th?
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm throwing out a random pitcher and a random pitcher.
3,000.
I'm just going to pick two I really like.
Yeah, I'm just picking two guys I know have 3,000 strikeouts. So
I'm not sure, but I just picked two pitchers that I knew.
Okay. I got two pitchers down.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
everybody,
Yep.
Ryan and Johnson.
So Dizzy Dean and Nolan Ryan.
So Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson.
I said Nolan Ryan and Tom Seaver.
Pedro Martinez and Nolan Ryan.
Well, you got one. You got Nolan Ryan.
Okay. Did everyone put him down?
Yeah.
The other one is Phil Necro.
Oh. See the knuckleball guy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Cool.
His,
I was hoping I'd put Pedro Martinez on. Did he have 3,000 strikeouts? I hope he did.
I
He
believe
did,
does,
yes.
Uncle Doug, are you next?
Is that me?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I got two questions here. I got to decide which one I want to use.
The easiest one.
Okay, we're going to use Wade's favorite stat and my favorite stat, WAR. So,
Here we go again.
2021. Which first baseman had the highest WAR?
All time?
No, for 2021.
Oh, okay.
I will tell you that out of the top 4 WARs of 2021, 3 of them were third baseman, and there was one first baseman.
I'm sure they value third baseman's defense at a time.
Yeah.
I got it. I got
So-
one.
I'm not joking when I say I probably haven't really watched a baseball game in like 5 years. I can't name 5 first basemen
No.
that play in the MLB right now.
I cannot either.
I don't watch baseball that much.
I got it.
I can think of a couple guys.
Um,
Well, I do fucking watch baseball.
Well, then you better effing get this.
I don't know that I will, but
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
got-
Wade, that I used WAR, but
it's okay.
I got at least
I
a
mean-
decent guess.
I mean, I know this guy's good, so we'll see.
all right, I got my answer.
everybody got one?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, what you got,
I
guys?
said Freddie Freeman.
I also said Freddie Freeman.
That's a really good answer.
I said
Pujols.
Paul Goldschmidt.
And I put Abreu.
Well, I will tell you that Freddie Freeman was the second first baseman.
Oh my God!
And the number 1 first baseman was Paul Goldschmidt.
Let's go.
I sat here going Goldsmith or Abreu, Goldsmith or Abreu.
I went with
Like,
Goldschmidt because he won Gold Glove last year,
He
and
was-
he's a good
He was
fielding
number
first
2
baseman.
on the list, and Nolan Arenado was also in the top 4.
I knew Arenado would be up there because he won
two
his
of them.
platinum
Of course.
glove last year.
Well,
I think
that's kind of
Arenado
common
just on
by
his
an answer.
defense probably has a good WAR.
Oh,
That doesn't even include his great offense.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know, Goldspin passed my mind too, but I was like,
I was between.
I went with my Cardinal.
I went with Goldschmidt or remember.
So is that me now?
Freeman.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think so.
All right, guys. Well, this one's a little off the wall, but I couldn't help myself when I saw it. What is the name of the baseball team in The Simpsons?
I know this. Only because I watched The Simpsons.
That's the reason to take the baseball league.
Let's
I-
go.
I don't watch Simpsons.
I've started watching more South Park than The Simpsons. But I used to watch The Simpsons all the time. And yep. Let's go. It's also kind of a TikTok trend with Lisa talking to Homer in this. They talk about him.
Everybody got an answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an answer.
I'm surprised you don't know, Ray.
I don't watch that.
Oh, you don't
Me
watch
neither.
Simpsons?
No.
You seem like a Simpsons guy, Ray.
And probably like the first 3 years, and it just
Simpson.
First 3
Yeah.
years,
Homer
Ray, we were like
Simpson.
little kids.
yeah. Yeah. So I watched South Park at 14.
South Park's hilarious.
Everybody?
Yeah.
All right, what you got?
I said
Nothing.
the Adams.
Let's put the ballers.
Brock.
Quickie Stars.
The Springfield Isotopes.
That is correct.
I almost thought.
Damn it.
I almost
It's because of
put
the
Isotopes.
nuclear plant.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
Burns.
that's why I put Adams. I was thinking it's got. I could see the emblem,
Yeah.
but I couldn't think of. And I
Well-
thought about Isotopes.
What's trivia for baseball?
Well, there was 4 points given out today.
Never mind.
So the standings are as follows. In first place with 3 points is Drew.
Go do it. Yeah.
In second place with 2 points is Uncle Doug. And third place with 1 point is Alex. And tied for last place, Ray and Wade with 0 points.
Ray, I will be at the bottom with you the whole time in this sport.
Don't worry, we got plenty of spots at the resort.
I will be joining the resort shortly
I'd
after
like to book a
baseball.
reservation.
Yeah.
Brock, did you get any points today?
Nope.
Yeah.
all right.
I don't write down guest numbers. So.
Biggie's still like in fourth and.
Oh yeah.
Well, we appreciate you tuning in for our First Baseman episode, and we would appreciate you tuning in next week for our Second Baseman episode. And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.